Hi, welcome to our Thursday program. Two very quick things. Firstly, thank you very much. Somebody alerted me to the fact I wasn't aware that we'd clicked over 10 million views on the TNT channel. Now, it hasn't even been up for 2 years, so yeah, I think I'm pretty proud of that. 10 million views. If I got $1 for each of those views, I'd be doing pretty well. Hey, well, that's not how YouTube works, but we do hope to continue doing not only this channel, but we're going to be starting a new channel. That's going to be called Alive and Kicking. We'll tell you more about that in the next few weeks when we do launch it and some of the subject matter, but we will be continuing to do this daily program. Now, the other thing I just wanted to quickly mention is this Saturday and Sunday are two Buddhist holidays. It's the start of Buddhist Lent. There's a lot to do with candles. I think we've got a procession today to the local temple and they're going to be delivering candles to the temple, but it is an important Buddhist holiday, and it doesn't mean that our alcohol won't be served at pubs, won't be available for sale, unless you've got a special friend down the road, from Saturday midnight, that's like Friday night, Saturday, all the way through till Sunday night. So some 48 hours of alcohol ban, and you've done it before, you know how it works. So this Saturday and Sunday. And getting into the guts of today's program, it certainly didn't take them long to get to the bottom of what was happening with this poisoning at the Grand Hyatt Hotel in Bangkok. 3 excellent versions of the story with some different details from the Thai media. We're starting off with Thai PBS World, and Bangkok hotel dead, presumed to have swallowed cyanide from teacups. All 6 foreign nationals found dead in a luxury Bangkok hotel are presumed to have died after ingesting cyanide from teacups. This is according to a forensic doctor who spoke yesterday at a media conference. Photos released by the police of the bloodless crime scene showed bodies scattered around the room among plates of untouched Thai food and 2 thermos flasks and cups. Initial examinations revealed the presence of cyanide in the 6 cups. According to police, and the forensic doctor said the mouths and nails on all the bodies turned purple, showing a lack of air could be a joint reason of the cause of death. He said, we presume that all died from cyanide, which causes a lack of air in some organs. And earlier, police said one of the 6 foreigners found dead likely also carried out the poisonings, thought to be related to debts worth millions of baht. We're convinced that one of the 6 people found dead committed this crime. Now, one of the articles we'll quote from later has a lot more details about this person. Investigators also revealed that no movement, this is in and out of the room, had been observed from Monday afternoon, suggesting the deaths could have occurred the day before the bodies were discovered. Now we go to this article in the BangkokPost.com. Investment dispute ends in hotel cyanide tea party. And police suspect a 56-year-old Vietnamese woman with US citizenship of using a lethal mixture of cyanide and tea to poison 5 compatriots when they met at a luxury hotel. And police identified the suspect as Vietnam-born Shireen Chong. Hotel staff she had been waiting alone in room 502 on the 5th floor of the Grand Hyatt Erawan Hotel. When her alleged victims arrived on Monday, she'd earlier ordered food and tea from room service. She refused the room attendant's offer to brew the tea for her in the room, saying she'd prepare it herself. And police said the suspect had invited the other 5 people to invest in construction projects, and they included a couple who reportedly invested the equivalent of 10 million baht in a hospital project in Japan. When there was no progress in the projects, they had taken legal action. And the 6 were scheduled to meet in court in 2 weeks, but Chong invited the 5 to meet for out-of-court negotiations. They initially planned to go to Japan but could not meet there because of visa issues, so they turned to Bangkok. So I suppose it appears so innocent. Let's meet in Bangkok and we'll sort this out. Of course, the next question is, where did the cyanide come from? And still on this Bangkok Post story, police were tracking down the source of the poison. They said the cyanide was also found in tea bags collected from the room. And officers are investigating whether the cyanide was smuggled into the country or acquired locally. So just sifting through the tea leaves there, literally, it looks like the tea bags were infused with the cyanide. Whether that's going to be picked up in luggage brought into the country, I don't know. Now let's go to a different angle in this story. In a related development, police at the Lumpini station were questioning Phan Ngoc Vu, 35, who served as a guide for the group. He told reporters he knew only one of the 6 people previously, having met them last year. He refused to answer any other question. Then that article in the Bangkok Post goes through some of the errands that he was running. Obviously had some sort of working knowledge of Bangkok, or why didn't they use a Bangkok tour guide? A photo there of Sheree Chong, the chief suspect in the poisonings. And to some more of the excellent coverage in Thai media, we go to khao.english.com. Their headline, "Debt Dispute Leads to 6 Deaths in Bangkok Hotel Poisoned by Cyanide." And it goes through the 6 people involved in these deaths, with Shereen Chong at the top of the list, the alleged perpetrator, and the other people who died from this particular incident. And according to relatives, Shereen Chong had Thi Nguyen Phang Lan act as a broker to persuade a husband and wife team, who were also road construction contractors in Vietnam, to invest some $278,000 in building a hospital in Japan. And just a quick profile there from Khao English of Shereen Chong, born in 1968. She was an American citizen and she entered Thailand at Suvarnabhumi Airport. Her visa was valid until the 3rd of August. She'd been to Thailand 5 times. And interestingly, during her time there, she checked into 3 different rooms at the hotel. And they've got various pictures of her moving around the hotel there. So it looks like within 1 or 2 days, the Thai police have been able to get to the bottom of this story and get that information out to the media. And as I said, has been very well covered by those 3 publications. And with thanks to our sponsors, 5 Star Marine at 5starmarinephuket.com, also Beach House Thailand, we move on to our next story. And covered in ThaiPBSWorld.com, an update on the future of Pita Limjareonrat and the Move Forward Party. Charter Court to rule on Move Forward dissolution case on August the 7th. The Constitutional Court has dismissed the opposition Move Forward Party's request for an inquiry, and they say they have sufficient evidence to make a ruling in the case, in which the Election Commission has sought the dissolution of the party and 10-year political disbarment of its executive committee for the party's election campaign for amendments to the Lèse Majesté law. Well, saying there they have sufficient evidence, I think, looms large in this article. And the court is, however, to give the Move Forward Party and the Election Commission, who brought the case, an opportunity to present closing statements on July the 24th. A final ruling will be delivered by the court on August the 7th at 3 p.m. So the future of the Move Forward Party and Pita Limjareonrat, their leader in the past and a prime ministerial candidate, doesn't look good, just sort of reading between the lines on that article. Now, we were speaking the other day about bridges going to Koh Samui from the mainland, Suratani. It was, I think, some 37 kilometres of bridge. This is a slightly shorter bridge, but the story really could change the future of Koh Chang, and reported in the Bangkok Post, Koh Chang Bridge likely to cost 10 billion baht. And building a bridge to connect Trat on the mainland to Koh Chang, the province's popular island, will likely cost 10 billion baht. This is according to Exat. And the Exat governor says there's 2 options. One's to build a 8.2 kilometre road bridge to the island, and the other one is a 5.6 kilometre route from the Lam Not Pier to the ferry pier on Koh Chang. And the study is expected to be completed in 2026. Work would take about 5 years, with the bridge complete in 2033. A bit of background on this Koh Chang bridge covered in iamkochang.com, and saying a bridge would put significant stress on Koh Chang's infrastructure, as there's only one road on the island, so the amount of traffic on the island would increase dramatically, and there'd be problems with tailbacks and more accidents on narrower and hillier stretches of road. Well, it looks like the Koh Chang locals have got at least another decade before anything is going to be finished and people start streaming across any of those bridges. Now heading up to the north of Thailand to Pai. In Khao English say a resort owner in Pai, which is in the Mae Hong Son province, filed a complaint with Pai police that foreigners had trespassed and engaged in intimate activities at his resort. When he asked them to leave, they ignored him. They also grabbed his phone and threw it away when he was trying to take video clips. The resort owner also criticised the police for lacking measures to control tourists and alcohol vendors. He claimed that alcohol was being illegally sold in drinking water bottles to tourists during tubing activities from noon until 7 p.m. Afterwards, these tourists were allowed to walk around the town centre wearing only swimwear, men in just underwear and women in two-piece swimsuits. So this pilgrimage to Pai seems to be taken by the same group that usually frequent the full moon parties on Koh Chang, and it looks like it's starting to cause a few problems in the north. It certainly does get a lot of media coverage and very easy to find on Google. Pai authentic travel and tipsy tubing, jungle tubing, tipsy adventure through Pai Valley, Pai tubing, beautiful river running through this lovely town, jungle tipsy tubing experience with shots. And we get to see exactly how some of those shots are administered. And just looking at that, I couldn't think of anything I would least rather do. Floating down a river of warm human soup. Anyway, hope they're enjoying themselves, but it looks like it's putting a bit of stress on some of the adjacent property owners. But thanks for watching today as we sort of move beyond 10 million views. Thanks for your support. Thank you to our sponsors, and we look forward to seeing you on the Friday program.